I would love to hear how did founding and then ultimately running this large organization, how did that, because you were self-taught, how did this business teach you about stewardship and what did you learn as you continued to grow?
Well, the book of Proverbs is a go-to book if you own a company and you're wondering how, why, when, where, I don't know. The book of Proverbs is filled with great wisdom, and I think that we as believers need to take advantage of that. So early on, Jonas, 5 years after I made that confession to Jonas, Auntie Anne's was started. 5 years, and during those 5 years, the two of us had really talked a lot, and we hadn't done any counseling, but Jonas was studying, and through his studying, we, discovered a lot about ourselves and what actually happened to us, and we were so excited when we had the opportunity to buy a little store in Pennsylvania. And we did have the money, but we actually had no money. We had $25 to our name, and we had the opportunity. So we went to my father-in-law, and he loaned us he was an Amish man that was very wealthy, and we asked him for $6,000 to start our Auntie Anne store. And again, that's all we were going to do. One store is all I thought we needed. And he gave us the money, and we started Auntie Anne's. And, early on, as we built 2 and then 12 the next year, we began to understand that God, I'll never forget, Jonas said to me at one point, he said, "Hun, instead of saying," because people tasted our product and literally wanted to do their own store. We never marketed. We never advertised. Franchising was not even something that we never asked anybody, please, go build a store. No, never. They tasted the product and they called us. That's literally how we grew our company. And by the end of year 2, when we had 14 stores, we kept saying no to many, many people because it was just him and I. And we helped build the stores and we trained the people. And so at one point, Jonas said, I just feel like God is wanting to do something very big here. And I think we need to get out of the way and just see what he has to say and start saying yes. And it was during that time that we knew that Auntie Anne's was created to give. And we got, from day one, we had our store on a Friday. We started our Downingtown market 2 days. And we knew then that already that God, we wanted to give more. We've always wanted to give more. And so we decided that Auntie Anne's was created to give. And so from day one, we had a 3-stack, I call it my 3-stack system. And, I honestly feel like we take on so much information that we don't allow common sense and wisdom to guide us and to navigate us, through our startup companies. And because we didn't have formal education. We had an 8th grade education because we grew up in the Amish culture, and it wasn't a choice that we made not to go to high school, but we didn't have the opportunities. So common sense became, and the book of Proverbs, and then reading the Gospels. There's so much in the Bible that we can learn about what it means to be givers. And so it was during that time, I was at a mission service at our church. It was a missionary Sunday. And I had got so consumed with Auntie Anne's that I felt guilty. Like I was standing in the front row of our church and I was worshiping the Lord. And I said, Lord, did I get off track here? I know Auntie Anne's, I know I am consumed with that, but I really want to minister. I want to be involved in church. I want to minister. I see the missionaries. Do you want us to go somewhere to be missionaries? It was almost like I was weeping. I was troubled in my spirit. And in that moment, Andrew, I was looking up and I saw a very clear picture in my mind. And Jesus was looking at me with a big smile on his face, and I'm rolling pretzels. And I stopped. I'm like, what is it? And what I felt in my heart, an interruption in my thought, God said to me, I have created Auntie Anne's as a vehicle for missions to give. And when you know what your purpose is, Andrew, everything begins to shift. My mind shifted, my heart shifted, my passion and my purpose. I realized in that moment that God created Auntie Anne for us. And it meant that he wanted us to be profitable so that we could be charitable. So then that means that if I want to be profitable, if God created this company, what that meant for me was I need to learn how to become a business owner. I need to learn how to become a leader. I need to learn what it means to be a healthy organization. What does it mean to take faith into the workplace? What does it mean to be Christ-like in the workplace every single day? So I immersed myself with, I went to conferences. I read books on the subject of leadership, and I read books on the subject of giving. And by the first year, by the end of year one, we had built 2 stores, and our income at that time, gross sales was over $200,000 in 1 year, from January through the end of December. And I'm telling you, the joy. Our motto became, we give to get, to give again. And very often in business, we're like, oh, I got to look at the bottom line. I want to see how much profitability we have. But we never, I'm just saying, we were so excited and we knew what our purpose was. So the combination was purpose and giving. The joy, I can't even explain it to you. And so we began to give a gross off of our gross income. And it's like the more we gave, the crazier life became for us, and the more stores we began to build. And so we give to get to give again. And very often we wait to give till we know, should I give? Am I going to be profitable? But I believe as a business owner, one of the columns needs to be the column of the contribution column. Number one, our column was, the very first column was income, expenses, and then contribution column. And bankers won't understand it. Investors won't understand it. I can tell you we had challenges concerning those 2 entities. If you want to know more about that, you can pick up my book, Overcome and Lead, and it will give you all the details of that. But the joy of giving is unbelievable. And that the joy of giving, but also the joy of being a leader and caring about your people, the combination, it was exhilarating to me and Jonas both.